Welcome back, everybody. We are back. The free agent fans. It's your boy Mike Jr. coming at you with the fellas. Introduce yourself, guys.
JB here.
Boss G, baby.
Slimy Johnson.
All right. It's been a minute, but we are back. And today, Slimy gonna be leading us as we talk about being black after 50. Now we know that there are other people out there that are not black, but we are black. But this can apply to you too. So if you're after 50, just take a listen and check us out. See what we talking about.
So the reality is that we are middle-aged men, black men, who are transitioning or coming up on 50 or either at that age right now. This is the second portion of our life. We want to talk about the good, the bad, and the stereotypes that go along with being black after 50. So me personally, the older I get, the more I try to avoid trouble. I stay
too.
away. I stay away from YNs. And if you know what YN is,
It
What's
took me a
YN?
minute. It
What's
took me a
YN?
minute.
I stay away from YN.
It took me a minute, but I figured it out.
For the audience who don't know what YNs are, can you elaborate on
So
that?
those are young knuckleheads.
Okay, young
Young ninjas.
Young niggas.
Okay.
I avoid YNs, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I seek peace of mind more often
Most
in,
definitely.
in my later age.
Most definitely.
Yeah, and I try to be more in touch with my emotions
Oh yeah.
because as head of a household, because at this age, we are head of household, you need to be more in touch with your emotions because I have daughters and women are really emotional beings and I need to learn how to communicate because
So what does that look like for you? How do you feel when you say you more in touch with your emotions? Like, because as growing up, we were taught to never do that as men.
so I have a military background. It's more of a grunt. It's more of caveman, hit over the head. But I realize that approach is not acceptable nowadays. I have to be able to communicate how I'm feeling, even though I don't like it, because 50-year-old man, fuck, I'm talking about emotions for.
Yeah, exactly.
Get over. I don't have time to be emotional. I don't have time to be depressed.
Yeah.
I don't have time to be any of that. I just got to get up and go and get it done. So,
So have you ever cried?
uh,
When the last time you cried?
I think I cried once before back in 1983.
Yeah, right.
I think I stubbed my toe on the end of the bed.
I'll be retaining a lot of water right
When it come, boy, it could be an ocean.
I don't know, man. I mean, so I got a question. We are men of a certain age, and we deal because you said because it sounds like you're saying we bottle up our emotions and we keep it. If 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 one of us came to you, Mike, vulnerable, crying, would you know how to handle that? How would you handle that?
Okay. Old Mike versus new Mike. Old Mike did not know how to handle that. Like I would say I lack empathy at times. It's been said and I noticed it. Even my wife has said it, but that was the old me before I learned how to cry and we've talked about this before. If you guys go back and listen to other podcasts, we talked about therapy. It's not a bad word. And since I've been talking to my therapist over a year, I have learned how to uh, show emotions and cry. I cried in front of this lady. Lady, I don't even know. She way in California. We just videoed a video. I cried in front of her. And part of me was like, man, you a bitch. You just cried in front of this chick. But when she told me that didn't make me less of a man, she just like broke it down and was like, look, dude, you have real trauma. You've been through things. And I was like, yeah. She's like, it's okay for you to cry. Shit, I was thinking my chest. I was like, fuck yeah, it's okay for me to cry. I can cry when I want to. God dang it. And so I cry. And like I have cried, I damn near cry every session. But because she pulled stuff out of me. So I guess new me, I would definitely know how to show that compassion. I'm still a work in progress.
Yes.
But I would definitely know how to show more compassion than I would have in the past. Because in the past, I had people like they would tell me they issue their problems, and I'd be thinking to myself like, "Nigga, just move on. What's your problem?" You know, and don't let it get to you like that. You know, and like guy sitting across from me, Boss G. I have listened to a lot of his things, and I'm like, damn. You know, sometimes I would talk to my wife afterwards and be like, I don't know how to. I feel like I'm doing my best friend a disservice because I don't really know how to respond because I'm that nigga like, man, fuck that shit, just move on. But that's not him.
You know what? That's exact.
Yeah.
So when I talk to you, I feel like I'm doing you a disservice too. Mike, he hit the nail on the head.
Yeah. And I want to be better, and I'm learning. I'm learning because now, I'm able to listen to them and they say, okay, shit, this very well could have been me. Now just because, and it ain't good to hold all that in because shit, I feel like I'm gonna have an ulcer one day holding all that shit in. I needed to get that shit out and just be like, okay, I can be vulnerable. I can cry. I can, express myself. Because shit, I know, and especially, and what helps is though, is when it's someone that you trust that's not gonna look at you like, oh, he a bitch, or you know what I'm saying, oh, this nigga weak. And you get the fact that this dude comes to me with this shit, it tells me he trusts me, and I'm like, okay, this dude trusts me. So, and I want to be that guy that can, like, hey man, I got you. He'll lift you up because I'll share a story that one day it was the funniest. It wasn't funny at the time, but it was funny. It's funny looking back now. I'll never forget. I was standing on Boss G's porch back in the day, and I was telling him how I was having issues with my son's mother. And I was crying, and it was one of the weirdest, awkwardest moments because he was looking like, "Shit, do I hug this nigga?" I'm standing there and I'm like crying and shit. I'm like, "I'm gonna kill her," and he like, "No, man, don't do that." He's just kind of like, it's like, "What the fuck do we do now?" But he was supportive, and I appreciate that. He talked me down or whatever, and I was like, "Okay, move on." But now, shit, nigga, we probably hugging at this age, this stage now. Like, come on, man, I'm gonna get you through this. So that's how I would be now.
Well, I think that, as you grow older and you go through things in life, it's important that you have that. You need different perspectives. You need friends that's gonna empathize with you, but you also need friends that's gonna give you that other side as well, that kind of help you move on. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You don't need someone to always kind of coddle you and say, "Oh, woo, 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 woo." But you need that other friend to say, "Hey, man, get it together."
Yeah.
So you need that balance.
Yeah.
So you have to we have to know how to be emotional because if you bottle stuff up, it can come out the wrong way.
Yes.
And we see it in society and these on the internet where you see people overreact. And it's in the worst way, especially with men. We taught as a young age from when we fall down, we say, "Get up, stop crying.
Yeah.
You a punk.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Toughen up."
Man.
And then you grow up with that stigma where there's something wrong with you.
Yep.
That if you cry or if you express yourself, but you have to know how that we're human. There's nothing wrong with being able to express yourself in a healthy way. Now you don't want to overdo it where you just come like, "Oh my God," where you just like, man, they're crying about everything. But you have to be able, like you said, it comes down to trust, who you can trust. Now everyone you can express yourself to because they will try to exploit that and use it to their advantage and make fun of you or try to say that you're this or you're that. But I think the older you get, you become more comfortable in who you are. And say, "Hey man, I don't care about this," because you can see it in society where people who don't have anyone in their life to show them how to properly express themselves, it can be very, detrimental to them. So man, I think, being 52 years old and, and the things I've been through in life and I reminisce on things I've been through, I don't have any problems in my circle expressing myself to the people who I feel comfortable with, because people in my circle have expressed themselves to me, have exposed themselves to me about who they are. So I feel comfortable talking to them.
That's super important, man, because at this age we have pulled the weeds out of our circle.
Yes.
Your circle has gotten
I like to pull the weeds out of our circle.
Man, because them weeds will kill you, and it's gotten smaller and smaller, and now you got this level of trust. And so when you say circle, you truly mean your circle.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like that in the past, and that's why you hold that in because like I don't know if this dude gonna do this or do what, or what he gonna go back and talk about me to other people or whatever. But now I know everybody at this table I can express myself to, and I know it ain't gonna be like, oh well, Mike was this, Mike was that. It's just I'm comfortable with that. So, what you think, JB?
What you think,
I
JB?
think JB.
I don't know. Like I said, everything's different. Like you said, you
Man,
guys,
speak up.
you guys hit a lot of
Don't be
stuff on the
scared.
head.
JB is the oldest, the eldest.
I am, and because I'm the eldest, I go through a lot and been through a lot, and I understand everything. Just like you mentioned, everything from when we were younger. Me and Mike, we was talking about when we were younger. How what time is it? When at this time we be just leaving out the house, and now we like, man, it's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
Like, man, we weak, man. What happened to us,
You
dude?
can stay up late, go
What
to
happened to
from the
us?
club to work, and
Oh.
now I'm yawning at 9:30. It's like,
Dude, man, we used to be clowning, and it's like, and it's just, you know, from boys to men, it's like what you do. There's evolutions of what you go through from the time you're 19 and you smelling yourself to this time. Like say, of course, when you're at 19, 20, you're full of piss vinegar, ready to fight everybody.
yeah.
And at that age, it's like, no, not so much. Yeah,
Bring it up.
not so much. Cause I couldn't fight nobody right now if I could.
You know what I'm afraid of getting older? That YNs don't respect
They don't.
the older man as much.
When we were
I'm
young,
looked
we
at
used to
I'm looked-
respect them, man.
I'm looked at more as a victim.
Yes,
Yeah.
versus
Yeah.
as respected elder, and you would go to, and and I guess in their way, when they call you OG, is that their way of, I guess, respecting
Yes,
you?
yes.
I guess that's their way of respecting you, from what I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, so I used to work out I still work out, but at the Y, it was a younger guy there. And I know he went to school with my son, and he used to call me OG.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what they do.
yeah.
Cool as crap, man. This dude, cool young man, was very respectful, everything. He'd come in, hey, OG. I mean, the dude was huge. You know what I'm saying? He was obviously playing football during that time.
Right.
And this dude's in there benching, like three, whatever, and, just doing all this stuff, big guy. Just super cool, very respectful. And when you say that, that whole OG term, you look at that like, that very well could have been flipped the other way because one day I was at my son's, we were in line, waiting for him to get his books or whatever before school started. And one of the little guys came up and started talking to some of the football players in the line in front of us. And I was like, nah, I know this little dude ain't think he finna jump us. We've been standing here for whatever. But I never told my son this. When I told him, I was like, hey man, that line started back there. He's like, oh, I know, sir, I'm just talking to my friend. And I told my son some years later, I was like, man, your daddy was like, whew, thank God that boy was raised right. Because that little nigga could have drugged my ass twice my size.
So what if he would have been more dismissive? What if he would have said, chill out, OG, wait your turn?
Am I finna get my ass whooped for my son? Because this dude, I mean, I didn't have that for this dude. This dude
This be a point of no return once you kind of throw the go to that well.
Pick your A. You gotta go pick your battles.
it was a chance that I said, I'm like, okay, so I gotta say something. I can't just get jumped in front of my son, just let some nigga walk up and jump us in the line. My son stand there, and I know he knew how to handle himself, but I didn't want that smoke coming on him with all these football players. He go there, he a basketball player, he one of the biggest these dudes. And I'm like, damn. So, when I said it, I was like, that this motherfucker be respectful. He's like, oh, it's okay, sir. I'm just talking to my friend. I'm like, inside, I'm like, with my son standing there, I'm like, that's right, nigga.
Thinking to your heart, be like, oh my God.
Like, please don't let this young man beat my ass in front of my child. But those are things that we transitioned because I used to run out the house and when my son would have beef in the neighborhood, and my son could fight, man. I just used to run out there like, look, man, leave him alone. You know what I'm saying? But my wife like, don't go out there, this, that, because he had done beat up one of the dudes in the neighborhood before. But I'm just like, leave him alone. I ain't trying to have him going in and out of jail and all this bullshit with this little shit, y'all. And I'm like, where your daddy at, man? You know what I'm saying? The daddy, these kids in the neighborhood, he was soft. You know what I'm saying? The dude was like, oh man, just let boys be boys. I'm like, look, man, tell your kids to leave mine alone. But I used to always think to myself, my son cracks up now. He's like, man, what would you have done if that little nigga would have beat my ass in front of you? He's like, Dad, I wouldn't let that happen.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but he could have.
Son said he wouldn't let it.
Yeah. He's like, I wouldn't let that happen. But I mean, like, it could have though.
We
Shit,
just
that
could
dude
turn
had a right.
south real fast.
Man, 'cause, you know, as you
Yeah.
get older, your reflexes ain't like
Sure.
what they used to be. So how that has changed for me in my 20s, and I'm a bigger dude than I was in my 20s. You know that. In high school
Yeah.
shit, I was like, what,
Yeah.
80 pounds
Yeah,
wet?
yeah.
And I was always ready to fight. Now it's like, man, hey, look, bro, we both want to go home to our families. You know what I'm saying? Why don't we just, let bygones be bygones and move on?
But it's like what JB just said. I was just thinking about what he just made a good comment. It's about the cycle of evolution, what it comes down to. Because if we just look at our parents, right, and and we just see how they are, they grow older. You see they more, weaker. They, and you just think back to how they were 15, 20 years ago. And if we live,
Keep living.
if we
It'll be that same way.
My father used to always say, keep living.
Keep living.
My father used to always say that. And that never really resonated to me until I see how my mom is now and see what state she's in now. And it just makes you just realize that, one day, if we keep living, we're going to be in a situation like that. So we got to realize that, we have to be conscious of those type of things, and we have to conduct ourselves in a certain fashion. And it ain't all about ego. It ain't always about pride.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? We have to keep that in mind. It's about in our profession. Me and Slimy Johnson, and parts of what we do as far as being in the fire service. The way we did, we got been in this profession almost 20 years, and as far as when we came on, it's totally different.
Yeah.
When we came on 20 years ago to how it is right now. And the way I feel almost, when I came on, is totally different how I am now. When I came on, I didn't think about getting hurt. I didn't think about, when that fire came in, man, I was like, well, let's go get it.
Yeah.
I didn't think about, oh man, the fire I was ready to go. I was ready to go. My mind didn't comprehend
Till once it hit you,
the danger.
once you
Right.
just ran into it. I know
Right.
you had a couple of situations.
I did.
Where
The
and
danger.
then the reality
Right.
kicked in. Like, I could have died.
But now, as I got older, and a former captain of mine used to tell me things when he was approaching 50 of how he thought about things, and now I'm 50. It resonates in my mind. So we have to realize that if we keep living, we have to respect the process.
Respect the process.
Respect the process, and know that, hey man, if you keep living, we all gonna get there.
Yeah.
Hey, your mind may say one thing, but your body gonna say another.
That boy.
Hey, I just saw something on Facebook, and I know we all probably been there. It's one thing. This guy was running track. He was, so let's say, hey man, let's do a sprint. I think I can still, do a, 100. Yeah.
40-yard dash.
And the guy, in your mind, you thinking, you think you 20. That dude fell right on his face, and the caption was like, when you thought you was,
Yeah.
What's
you
that?
thought you was still 20.
Pride got a lot of people in jail or in the graveyard.
Man.
I know when I go to the Y, like before I hit that crest where I couldn't lift or I couldn't squat as much as I could, like I would be in the Y working out. It'd be a girl on the other squat machine doing her squats, and I'd be like, I know I can out squat her, so I'm over there just squatting up. The last time I was there, like seriously squatting, it was a young lady right next to me. She was squatting the exact same amount as I was squatting, and I was at my max. I'm like, all right, it's cool, but younger me would have been like, oh shit, I gotta get some more on this plate, because I can't let this girl out squat me.
Yeah, sure.
Now,
Hey.
age I am now, it's like, hey, shit, good. Hey,
Yeah, you got it.
Now, girl, you got it. I'm just doing what I do.
And that goes towards the stereotypes that we talking about.
Yep.
Things that
Got it.
older men, you can't let a younger woman outlive you.
Right.
As an older man.
Yeah, I think
Man,
that younger woman's probably like what
Man,
20
girl,
years
probably
younger
20
than you.
years, yeah.
mid-20s.
Well, of course she gonna do that, you know.
She over there getting
Now,
it.
if y'all was the same age, that'd be different.
Yeah.
The
But-
same age or same sex? Because that's younger
Mm.
age.
If y'all was
and
a,
different
that
sex.
was, I ain't gonna lie,
So,
because I know,
20-year-old man,
I'm
I feel
prideful.
comfortable.
I'm prideful.
20-year-old man lifting more than me.
So
Yeah.
I'm prideful. So,
But a
so
woman-
if I'm 54 and I'm bench pressing this 100 pounds, I better not see this 50-year-old woman bench pressing this 100 pounds, or I'm gonna really feel bad.
Yeah.
Got to do,
But she's over 52. But we talking about someone younger than her.
even if we were both in our 20s, there's no way I would let. But what he's saying is, at his age, the woman was 20 years younger. Yeah, she's stronger. It's just the way it is.
But you gotta look at it like this. At one point in time, we was 20 years younger.
Sure.
Think about that. See, it's like you just said. It's all about evolution, brother. We got to realize that we at one point in time we was that
We was
20
doing
year
that.
we was that 20-year-old, that 25-year-old.
How do you? So the goal is that how do you adjust to that mindset? Because
Embrace it, man. Embrace it. Guess what?
Embrace it.
You know, you got. Let me tell you something. I look at it like this, and me personally, think about everybody who didn't make it to where you at.
True that.
Think about people who didn't make it to 52.
Never thought of it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Think about people who wish they could make it to the age you are.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that helped me put it into perspective.
Man, I told my wife, I'm like, hey, since I've gotten at this age, my main goal is to just not get my ass whooped. I've been like,
By YN.
Yeah.
that's my goal. It's like, all right, just how can I avoid getting beat down?
Because they looking for the smoke.
Yeah, man. And I'm like, I'm not no more. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not. So you see me on the street, I'm gonna try to talk you down. Like, look, man, because I know, because with us at this age, it's gonna be a shootout.
Can you reason with a young knucklehead?
I don't think that it depends on how far they are into whatever they doing.
It is.
You can try, but
And I'm gonna tell you, it's the upbringing is gonna play a lot in that. So
I don't think you
George-
reason with them.
George knows that. I used to deal with a lady that had 5 kids,
Yeah.
and the boys.
5 boys.
No,
3 boys.
3 boys, 2 girls.
they gonna beat you down.
But yeah, and I disciplined them when they were younger. I didn't even want to do it because they're not mine. They're not mine.
Yeah.
But she insisted that I do it.
Yeah.
Man, I hate to do it, but I did it, and I did it to a point where I try to think if they were my own son. And then when you do it, you explain to them why. You know what I'm saying? And and as they get older, I remember the one guy. I just knew. You know how you tussle with the guys.
You tussled with them?
Well, you know. We're gonna think of it.
That's insane.
It's a good example. You get it all. No whooping. Okay. Sit down. Question. You make me like this. See, you gonna tussle. Oh. And I told her, no, you whooping them and say, look, man, I had to do this because you did this, this, this. And I think as he got older, he understood it, But of course, you're at that age, you understand. All you understand, you get your ass whooped. And after that,
Grudge.
Did he hold a grudge? Did he come back?
He did not. You did not.
What age did you stop whooping them?
Oh, man, at a certain point,
25.
I told him, I said, at some point, you realize,
Go get that belt up.
at some point, you can pull the belt on me. Right? The reverse thing.
That's the scary boy.
So what happened though, Joe? Yeah,
So, and for them to say, even still today, they will still recognize like, hey Joe, happy birthday, or like on Facebook we still connect.
Still that in them.
Still that in, and I think, man, and that. So I think respect can be just like you would never, even though you got whoopings and stuff, even at at some point you were bigger and stronger than your mother or your father. You could have took them out at any time, but did you? No, because you instilled that you just fearful even at certain age.
That's the respect.
Yes.
So what you're saying? YNs don't have respect.
Depending on how they were reared. Like if they still have, if they had just like you said, the guys, he had respect. So he probably got a couple whoopings when he was little. Somebody got him. But if you never got it and you was a teenager, it's too late. It's too late. You ain't got no respect. I'm just gonna run over any adult because I'm bigger and stronger than you.
Yeah.
No respect. So I think it can be done, but you got to instill it in them at a young age.
I agree with that. And also to touch back on what you said, Womack, about I think when you get to a certain point, I think like you just said, and you asked the question, I think we just have to embrace and say, look, it's about Father Time. It's like this. Look, man, embrace it. And say, hey, you know what? I'm no longer 25. I'm 45, or I'm going to be 50. And then your priority change.
Yeah.
And then you have to simplify, my opinion, as you get older, you have to simplify your life. You have to simplify your life.
Weeds in the garden.
Like you said, you have to simplify your life and say, hey, you know what? The things that matter the most to me in my 20s and my 30s don't really matter that much to me as I'm 50, because you got to think about it. You got to ask yourself how many more quality years you have ahead of you. Because you think about it, when you get 50, you don't have many more quality years ahead of you. Statistically, you don't. The best years you have is behind you.
Yeah.
Statistically. So you got to really ask yourself. And then I think if you have a loved one in your life that you really see that you like kind of taking care of, that kind of help put it into perspective.
That's profound, man. I was thinking when you said that, I was thinking of the Locks. One of the rappers from the Locks in that song "Money, Power, Respect." He say, "You figure you're gonna be older way longer than you're gonna be younger," and that never resonates. It's like, damn, this dude is right, because you constantly getting older.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be older way longer than you're gonna be younger, because them young days are gone.
And they go quick too, boy.
So you gotta adjust, and you gotta move differently.
They go quick
than you did when you was younger, because you ain't gonna get that no more.
Never, brother.
The body has changed, and I was thinking, man, shoot, there was an older guy at the Y, and he was out benching me. And a sign of my maturity and letting go of my pride, I just looked over at him. I was like, man, go on, get it, Pops. And I just still, older, younger me would have tried to put more on there and be like, and I'll lift him. I ain't doing that no more. That's how you get hurt.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
then I ain't gonna be able to lift it off. So
Yep.
yeah, it's a process. But at some point you just gotta say to yourself, hey, I'm just gonna focus, do what I do, know what I am, know who I am, be proud of myself, not let my pride get me in trouble. So we gonna wrap this up. Any closing thoughts, gentlemen?
A great topic, fellas. I mean, I appreciate it. It's something that was near and dear to my heart, something that I wanted to talk about, because my wife told me to talk about stuff that you know about. So
Yeah,
stuff that hits close to home. So I appreciate the time and the insight. So yeah.
Amen to that, brother. Hey, y'all, check this out, y'all. If y'all out there listening, check out our website, thefreeagentfans.com. We back on the board. We getting back. I know I've been saying it for a long time now. We're gonna start video, and it's coming. It's coming. I promise you that. Just blame JB. Y'all stay blessed, and thank you for listening.